Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will go ahead and talk about Raspberry Pi 3, and I will go in detail to explain what Raspberry Pi 3 is, how to go ahead and configure it, and everything around it. So we will go ahead and build a robot, what you saw in the introduction video, and I will tell you step by step easy instructions in how to do that. It requires a lot of patience and it requires a little bit of learning curve. So if you're up for that, just stay tuned and we will go through it. Don't forget to watch the entire video so that you don't miss out on any of the steps which will be crucial to build everything out here. Also, I will be putting in my code, whatever I go ahead and type throughout the video in the description box, so you can go ahead and download and copy the code by yourself and practice it. This code will work on other versions of Raspberry Pi as well, because this is a Python code and it is platform independent. So you can just go ahead and use it with any Raspberry Pi 3 version. So it's gonna work fine. So let's get started without any delay. Okay, so on the screen what you see is a Raspberry Pi 3 image with us. So we are going to use exactly same hardware, but this is exactly what we're going to use it. These are the GPIO pins, what we call them. It's general purpose input output pins. So there are 40 pins, and they go ahead and serve us different purpose. There will be a diagram of the pins which I will show it to you later, like which pin is mapped to what purpose. So we will go ahead and look into that as well. Let me explain a couple of components here on the Raspberry Pi board here. So one of the components here is called, which you see Broadcom written on it. This is the processor of this entire computer or of this Raspberry Pi. And we have memory, which has around 1 GB of memory. It has 4 USB ports, two on each, two of each ports are grouped together. This is a network port where you can connect a network cable. This is an audio output only. So this is an output only. So you can connect the speakers, but you cannot connect a microphone to it. So this is an output audio only jack, 3.5 jack. Is this is the camera connector, where you can have the Raspberry Pi camera which is available in the market. You can just go ahead and connect with it directly and it works plug and play. This is our HDMI port, where you can go ahead and connect your HDMI to an external display or a TV if you want to see everything else what is going on inside the Raspberry Pi. This is our normal micro USB port, where you can connect the Raspberry Pi to power it on. So this is also our display port, where you can connect a normal display cable Raspberry Pi directly to it, and you can see the display. You can use the HDMI and you can use the display, either one of those, to connect it to the display. So if you have an old monitor or TV lying around which has an HDMI port on it, you can just go ahead and connect this, or you can buy a Raspberry Pi compatible display and you can use it with this. So this is, and along with this, under the board, there is only one port or one slot which is used for your memory card. So we have to insert a micro SD memory card, and we can go ahead and load our operating system on it, and all the programming and everything is saved on that memory card. So for our purposes, we are going to use a 32 GB high capacity class 10 memory card. So we would recommend you to use, I don't know if you can see it or not. So we are going to use a class 10 memory card. So we would recommend you to use always a class 10 memory card. So there are different types of memory cards, which are class 4, class 6, class 10. So class 10 is the one which you should be using, because the class means the MB speed of the memory card. So it's megabytes per second. This is at least 10 megabytes per second of speed which it will provide. I'm sorry, I might be wrong. I don't have more specific details on the memory card, so you can just Google it online. But then higher class means faster memory card. And we are going to use a regular made in China memory card, USB memory card reader. So we are just going to plug our memory card into this, and we will go ahead and put our Raspberry Pi into our memory card, and we will see how to, which way does it go in. Okay, so our memory card, we have plugged it in, and what you have to do is to go ahead and start with Raspberry Pi. We have to first go ahead and download it. So to download the Raspberry Pi, we have to go to the raspberrypi.org website, and I will go ahead and post the link on in the description box below. So this raspberrypi.org website has all the instructions on how to um, go ahead and install it. Has a small video as well how to set up the Raspberry Pi operating system. So this operating system is called Raspbian, and so it's basically says noobs, which means new out of the box setup. So this is basically easy to install Raspbian operating system. I would recommend you to go ahead and use that. So we can just go ahead and download the Raspberry Pi here. We go here, Raspberry Pi, and we download the zip file. Or we can, so there are two options, offline and network install, and network install only. So offline and network install will download the complete entire operating system. It will not have much updates later to update on, and this is a network install only, which is a lighter version. So for our purposes, we will go ahead and download. You can download any version. So this, if you can see, this is 1.6 GB, which will take some time to download. Once it is downloaded, we will come back. Okay, so the download is complete. We will go ahead and extract this in this folder. So once the extraction is complete, what we will do is we'll just go ahead and copy the entire thing in our memory card. So let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is complete. So I'll just go ahead and copy it and put it in my memory card. So here is, I've already copied it for you so that we can save on some time. So now this is already copied in. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and eject this pen drive, and once this is ejected, I will just go ahead and take it out and put it in my Raspberry Pi. So here is my Raspberry Pi. I'm going to go ahead and insert my memory card into this. This is a Raspberry Pi unit. This is my breadboard, and this is my power bank, which I'm going to use. It's a good trusty old power bank which I've used for many projects. So this is my power bank connected with a micro USB connector, and I'm going to use for now these three components for my project. Now if you see how this breadboard works is, if you've not used the breadboard before, so all these these are the, I call them the, you can call them rows or columns, whatever you may. So basically it starts like this. These are the columns and these are the rows. So on these two lines, on these two sections, it works, the connection is as per the rows. So from this point to, I'm not sure if you can see this, from this point to, I will just show it to you, from this point to this 1 2 3 4 5, these are all connected, but these are not connected to these 5 slots or the holes or whatever you can call them, and these are again not connected to these. So these are individual 5 are connected, these individual 5 connected, and these two rails, this is, one is called positive, one is called negative. So these two rails are, the entire rail is connected. So this is entirely connected from top to bottom. So even if it is showing different sections, doesn't matter, they are all connected. So what we can, it will help us to connect the different circuits So for now, we will start with our basic program. So let's just go ahead and first of all fire up our Raspberry Pi, and this is the memory card slot in our Raspberry Pi. So we'll just go ahead and insert the memory card here, and once we insert the memory card, we connect our power bank to the Raspberry Pi. Now in the Raspberry Pi there is no power button, so as the moment you connect the micro USB, it powers on, you would see a green LED here, but in our case it doesn't happen because my power bank has a power button. So I'll just go ahead and turn on my power bank. Okay, now you see there are LEDs running on, you know, the Raspberry Pi, which I think it is not right now. Okay, so there are LEDs running on the Raspberry Pi right now, if you see here. So that's the red LED, which is for power, and the green LED for data processing. So since it is on, we will just go ahead and connect our display to the Raspberry Pi. Just give me a moment. So the Raspberry Pi is basically, so this is our Raspberry Pi login screen. It has been set up. We just went ahead and install the Raspberry Pi. It's a pretty easy, simple screen. You just have to click on yes, Y for yes, enter, and it just goes ahead, and pretty straightforward. Just set the time zone, just next, keep on doing it, and then it just goes ahead and sets it up. I think that was just a wastage of time, so I didn't include that. So now it will also ask you during the setup to set up the password. So the password is what you can set it up, but the username by default is Pi. So we'll just go ahead and use the default username, and we'll enter our password here, and there we are. So this is our Raspberry Pi screen. This is our main home screen of Raspberry Pi. So what we'll do is we will just go ahead and create a folder named program. So which we will use to store all our programming and everything in that. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that, how we're going to store everything in here, so that it will be a little easier for you as well. Now this is our main screen of the desktop screen. It has its own menu and everything. So what you can do is we can just go ahead and install some softwares for us to enable us to for it to enable us to start programming with, and set up a remote desktop connection for our Raspberry Pi, and for all the next videos we'll be using the remote desktop connection for the same. So stay tuned. If you like this video, please click on the like button, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.